An analysis of the Australian mobile data market. Market overview. The Australian mobile data market is an oligopoly serviced by 3 mobile network operators, or MNOs, along with about 30 virtual MNOs, who resell services from the main network operators. Telstra currently holds just over 50% of the market. A mobile network consists of a number of distributed base station sites that are linked together to provide seamless coverage over a large geographical area. Each site operates within a specific frequency band using either 3G or 4G access technology. Spectrum is a finite resource, and the amount a network operator holds is an important competitive differentiator. The first digital mobile phone network was launched in Australia in 1993. However, mobile devices capable of accessing the internet only became mainstream in 2006 with the launch of Telstra's third generation NextG service. The arrival of 4G was the start of a surge in mobile data use. Initially supporting download speeds of 50 megabits per second, the latest variant of 4G is up to 100 times faster than the original 3G systems. Mobile subscriber growth has slowed over the past 5 years and is currently around 1.6% per annum. Average revenue per user also continues to decline year on year. Despite this, monthly data allowances have increased sharply, and individual user downloads have grown by as much as 300% over the past 3 years. Change is coming. A fourth operator, TPG, will launch 4G services later this year and is expected to disrupt the market with unlimited data at rock-bottom prices. The next generation of mobile technology, 5G, is about connecting everything in real time, at high speed and at a larger scale than ever before, and this will continue to drive the demand for mobile data in the future.
Factors impacting the demand for mobile data. Smartphones are now more powerful than the supercomputers used for the 1969 moon landing. Advances in smartphone and mobile network technology now allow the average Australian to demand more than 2.5 gigabytes of data per month. With over 3 million apps on Google's App Store, over-the-top technologies, such as those that stream video content, are the main consumers of mobile data. Mobile phone streaming of television series and movies in Australia has tripled between 2016 and 2017. More than 1 in 2 Australians are digital natives, the majority of which own a smartphone and are more engaged with mobile technology than any other demographic. As the number of digital natives in Australia increases over time, so too will the quantity of data demanded. Consumer choice for mobile data is linked to price, data inclusions, and network coverage. Interestingly, 18 to 24-year-olds value streaming, quality of download speeds, and the ability to roll over unused data more than the rest of the population. Consumers expect technology prices to reduce over time, and the mobile data market is no exception. The ACCC estimates that the average real price of mobile phone services has decreased by 12.8% since 2010.
Factors impacting the supply of mobile data. Spectrum is only available to lease as it's classified as a sovereign resource. Spectrum's like a highway with 2 very wide lanes. As more cars use the highway, traffic builds, eventually slowing down. The Spectrum highway can only handle more traffic by adding additional lanes. Deploying new variants of 4G LTE is like adding new lanes. The same highway can handle more traffic and drivers can drive faster. The introduction of 5G will create a superhighway allowing rocket-powered cars to be driven. The ACCC Spectrum licensing regulations limit the ability of MNOs to purchase spectrum. The ACMA regulates the placement of mobile phone base stations. These regulations inhibit coverage and capacity, but drive competition. With the data consumption loop, supply-side technology upgrades encourage handset churn, improve smartphone penetration, and drives demand for more data at faster speeds. This in turn drives advances in supply-side technology. Quality of service refers to capacity, coverage, and network reliability and requires significant investment in new spectrum, technology upgrades, network densification, and backhaul. There is high interdependence with price between the competitors, leading to non-price-based competition. As MNOs compete for market share through quality of service, there has been an erosion of average revenue per user.
Wow, the mobile data market is certainly complex, but I'm confident we've identified how innovation is quickly making mobile data a valid substitute for fixed broadband and thus a real risk to our business. At the same time, innovations in technology, social trends, and demographics are converging to enable continued expansion of the market, and the potential for increased demand could be a great opportunity for us. To prepare, I need to answer some questions around the factors impacting supply and demand for mobile data, what impact an increase in supply might have on price elasticity of demand, and what impacts a new Australian mobile carrier might have on the market. 5 key factors are impacting demand for mobile data, all of which are increasing demand, shifting the demand curve to the right. Mobile devices and over-the-top technologies are two constantly evolving complementary products to mobile data, and as consumers, particularly digital natives, continue to eagerly adopt new devices and technologies, demand for mobile data will continue to increase. Further, consumers will be encouraged to use more data by the dramatic increases in mobile data package sizes. In the mobile data market, investment in infrastructure equates to an increase in supply. The ACCC's regulation of spectrum competition limits available spectrum, shifting the supply curve left. Factors shifting the supply curve to the right include competitive rivalry and the efforts of industry players to maintain and improve both technology currency and service quality. The significant costs associated with increasing mobile data capacity and coverage, combined with the ongoing decline in average revenue per user, will likely limit investment, resulting in supply stagnating at existing levels and thus no impact to the supply curve. Finally, while the market is saturated with connections, the fact that 70% of mobile devices are unable to fully access network capabilities means those connections are not driving supply. To plot the supply and demand curves from 2010 to 2017, it was necessary to make some assumptions about the average real price of mobile data and the amount of data supplied. With those assumptions in mind, it's interesting to see how the curves have shifted from being nearly vertical in 2010 to being nearly horizontal in 2014 and 2017.
Gaining an understanding of price elasticity helps inform pricing decisions and the opportunity for long-run economic profits. Since 2010, the market has become mainstream because of network enhancements coupled with the mass adoption of mobile devices to access the internet. The mobile demand curve has shifted to the right. The increasing demand reflects the increasing use of and reliance on mobile data in our everyday lives. Intuitively, when considering the question of price elasticity, this increased reliance would mean that any price changes would have less impact on demand. In other words, as mobile data becomes more of a necessity, it would be expected that the price elasticity of demand would become more inelastic over time. A theoretical analysis confirms the intuitive view. As illustrated in the time-based analysis where supply is assumed to have shifted by 0.2 gigabytes in 2010, 14 and 17, assuming Ceteris paribus, shows price elasticity of demand moving from greater than 1 to less than 1. This theoretical analysis, while providing some insights, does not reflect all of the complexities of the mobile data market, including that true underlying demand is currently inhibited by technology of mobile devices that consumers and businesses use. The impact of a new entrant to the mobile data market after a stable oligopoly has operated will be disruptive. The goal of any player in the market is to maximise value in the long run by considering options and likely responses from rivals. To understand this, the Porter's 5 Forces framework can be used. The mobile data market is characterised by high industry competition. There is a low threat of new entrants due to infrastructure costs and high supplier power, with the government being the monopoly supplier of spectrum. Non-price factors influence consumer choices. High rivalry limits economic profits in the long run. A new entrant has advantages as they are not limited by legacy investments and can deploy the cheaper new infrastructure like small cell technology. A new entrant does not have to defend in market and is not influenced by sunk cost biases. It is possible that a new entrant could compete initially on price to capture market share, creating like responses from current players. Non-price competition factors provide a clear opportunity to maximise economic profits. For example, persuading some of the 70% of mobile phone users who cannot take full advantage of the network technology to update their devices would increase quantity demanded for an MNO. Tapping into digital natives provides opportunity to maximise utilisation of supply capacity.